NASA says off the earth for the earth. And we know the Russian isn't any better. And here is a corker, destroying both Russia and America in one go. Here is Mr. Fink. Mr. Fink, can you believe that? F-I-N-C-K-E. But a fink is somebody who's not honest. Look at the nice hand sign. But what they're talking about here, these two guys, is they sit in a nice little cramped Soyuz spacecraft. And I'll show a little bit more of how cramped this actually is. They're talking about having a landing on Earth. Now, NASA always lands in the water, and even the impact on the water looks like it'd kill you. But here they're saying what a nice little gentle landing. The Russians are better. I mean, they can land their stuff. But look at the buttons on the panel, straight out of 1972. So what is going on here? But listen to these guys and what he says here. It's just comedy.
3 feet is when we meet the ground. We're going about 20 miles an hour at the time, and we hit the earth firmly, and we know that we're back home.
I like he said 23 in a way. 20 plus 3. That's the death number. That's what you'd be, mate. You wait and see in a second. You're going to see what the landing looks like, or some sort of mock-up of it. It doesn't look good whatsoever. Look at this smiley face.
There are engines that fire right split second before touchdown, almost strangely named soft landing engines, but we're relying on what would be custom seed liners.
Now I just want to show you here. Look at the 41 he's hanging out there, but look how small and cramped and the way your knees are up. Knees up, Farmer Brown. Would you be happy? Would you be happy travelling like this? I mean, no space whatsoever. And the seats have got no suspension in them, and yet they're going to whack at the ground. The guy says 20 miles an hour. Well, I'll tell you what, 20 miles an hour is pretty damn fast to hit the ground. That'd smash you. Just watch this in a second.
That have some cushion capability for you, right?
It's the Russian designers have tried to make it as safe as possible so that we come back safely and gently, so nobody gets hurt.
Oh, nobody gets hurt. Well, watch this now. You wait and see this bit.
So they do slow us down.
Here it comes. They slow us down.
Right in the last meter.
That looked like an explosion, actually. That was weird, wasn't it? We just got to go back on that a bit. Where is it here? Just here somewhere. It's really hard to judge. It's a fairly long video. Oh, here we go. This is it now. Just let's see if we can put it on slow-mo. And watch the explosion. This is weird. Weird as hell. Here we come. Down we go. You wait and see. I saw a charge. Look at that. That's a little bomb. That's weird, isn't it now? That is ultra weird. But, of course, this is NASA and Russia playing games together. Where are you, Mr. Putin? And all these people. Oh, America and Russia are going to go to war, yet they chicanery us all with this one. Here we go. Getting close. We're going to have a soft landing, he says. The death number. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Here we go. Look at this. Really, this is just insane. It doesn't even look like a craft, eh? I'd say they put a little charge here to make it as if it's a heavier thing. Now, that was a charge. You saw that clearly. So that really destroys the old Soyuz, doesn't it? Now here's the beginning here where we see how small this thing is. You can see it there. That's the thing there crawling there in a second, you see. We'll just play one bit here. Nice Masonic gut. Oh, okay, we've got it on too slow to here. Maybe on half speed.
A capsule-based design.
A capsule-based design.
Part, let's talk about that first. That's where we sit in for launch and landing. So we call that the crew module.
The crew module.
And right above it, we have the habitation module, so that when we actually get into space, we need a little bit more room, so we're not cramped in that little can. So we have the habitation module, and a third module below is the instrumentation module, which has extra things like oxygen and our engines and things like that.
Yeah, engines and things like that. This is like a little child.
And only the part in the middle where we're sitting is the one that comes back home.
Whoa.
Let's take a look inside.
Yeah, nice little smile every time. And they seem to, in all this space stuff, really waste a lot of stuff, and it's not a problem to them. It costs millions, they say, to make, and they just jettison it and let it smash up and whatever. Look at this guy's smirky smile. They're going to get in here in a second.
Come on inside.
Come on inside. Oh, look. Now, I ask you, look how cramped this is. Would you be happy if I took you to that rocket and it's supposed to be 100 or whatever feet in the air and said, okay, get in this little dog box and prepare to die?
This is a mock-up of a Soyuz model TMA. And
now, this bit's good. The captain uses this stick because his seat's a bit further from the 1972 control panel, and he's got the stick to push the thing. We'll let him just tell us that. It's just too funny.
The part came in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Look, see what I mean? That is tragic, isn't it? That's straight out of one of them old Russian movies, and even American movies of the 70s, Russian movies of the 90s, and now, obviously.
Put in this new glass cockpit, the Neptune panel.
Ah, the Neptune panel. And don't we see, that relates to horses, my friends. And don't we see a lot of horsing around here?
And so we're sitting down. I'm sitting down in the flight engineer spot, which is at the left seat. And then there is the center seater, who is the commander. And then you're sitting in the right seater position, which is either another flight engineer number 2, or a spaceflight participant. So you can...
A spaceflight participant.
You see on that side there are fewer buttons to push and fewer things to control. So usually the spacecraft is flown with the commander and the flight engineer, which is more like a co-pilot working together. And since the center seat is depressed a little bit lower, it's harder for the commander to actually...
You know, I'm just going to let him say this in slow-mo. It's going to sound better. Here we go. Here we go. Listen to this little bit.
Push the buttons. So either he uses a stick like this, or oftentimes the way that I've flown it is as a flight engineer, I push all the buttons, I set everything up. Commander agreed.
Well, that's enough. They fly it. How do you fly a rocket that's got really no control? It's gimbal control at the other end. I mean, it's a real leap of faith. And we've said that, and this really, really nails it on the head. 72 control panel, the little digi stick. What if you lost the stick? Oh no! And just the cramped nature, you'd be catonic, as somebody said after getting out of this. And they said they go away for 6 months and stuff. 8.5 minutes to the outer orbit. Well, if you want to believe this stuff, you can, but I can tell you now, you saw the landing, you'd be dead on the landing anyway. And anyway, you saw how they used the charge. So why are they doing that? What is that chicanery for? We may well ask.